My guest this week, Dr. Feranda Williamson, President and CEO of the Chicago Mass Choir. Stay tuned. Good evening, and welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast Live. Once again, my name is William Stewart Jr. I am your host this evening. We have a very interesting show this evening. I just can't wait to get to my guests so we can talk about the Chicago Mass Choir. I've been knowing Feranda for a long time, but we'll go into that later. Let's talk about a few things this week. I'm only going to talk about one thing this week because it caught my eye. There was an art piece, a banana. And I'm going to show you this banana. This banana stuck on a piece of board with duct tape sold for $6.2 million. Could you believe this? A banana. I got a banana here. Anybody want to buy a banana? I'm selling it for $10. $10. First person, $10 if you want to buy a banana. But anyway, $6.2 million for a banana. I just can't believe it. But whoever bought it, I wish them the very best. Today is December the 6th. I wish, Christmas is knocking at the door. I just can't believe it. New Year's is right around the corner from Christmas. Time flies by when you're having so much fun. But, this is the first Friday of the new month. And you know what that means? I want to wish everybody a
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear viewers. Happy birthday to you.
That's right. I want to wish everybody in the month of December a happy birthday. And if you have an anniversary, happy anniversary as well. Before we get started, before we go on our break, before we bring our guests on, it's that time of the hour. I need your support. Yes, I need you to like, subscribe, share, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. So therefore, every time we are live on Facebook or YouTube, you'll get a notification on your device to let you know Stewart Spotlight is live, and make sure you tune in. And if you want to put a comment, please share your comments on there. Okay, we're going to take a small break before I bring on my guest. I'm really excited to talk with her about several different things about her life and the Chicago Mass. But right after this break, we'll be right back. And we are back. My guest this evening, I'm so excited to have her, is Dr. Feranda Williamson, the President and CEO of the Chicago Mass Choir. Without further ado, let's bring on my guest, Dr. Williamson. Welcome to the show, Dr. Williamson.
Thank you.
How are
Hey,
you?
William.
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm blessed, highly favored, and I'm just marvelous.
Ah, you're looking good. I saw something on your Facebook that you've been doing, working out in the gym and doing live podcasting. What's
Yeah, I've been working. I just make myself a priority with healthy living. It's been several years now, and just committed to a lifelong dynamic to invest in myself.
Okay, that's great. So first, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule because I know you're very busy with the groups and the ministries, and I'm gonna talk about that in a few minutes as well. For the viewers who's watching right now, I've been knowing Feranda for many years. So we used to work together at the City Colleges of Chicago
Yes.
for the many years when she was the dean. So here's a little information about Dr. Feranda Williamson. She received her Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration Education from Northern Illinois University. Her Master's a master's in adult education, employment training, and development specialization at Roosevelt University. And she received her Doctor of Education in Higher Education, Leadership, and Development from NOAA, Southeastern University, and received numerous awards, honors, and certificates of appreciation. Just to name a few, just want to give you little accolades out there. So Feranda, first of all, you mind if I call you Feranda?
That's fine.
Because,
That's
I
fine.
want to make sure, be respectful of those titles. So Feranda, tell us a bit, how many siblings do you have?
Well, I have two, and two of my sisters have passed, but there were four girls total.
Hmm. And you have a daughter, correct?
Yes, I have
And,
one daughter,
and
Tracy.
right, and any grandkids?
No grandkids, no.
Okay. Now, growing up, when you were growing up in grade school, high school, were you always interested in music?
Yes, as a matter of fact, from a very early age in church, I would sing with the choir. I even joined the church when I was 3 years old, and they would let me sing, yeah, and they would let me direct. So
Okay.
music has always been a part of my life from the church. And then my dad was a jazz musician, so and then I had an aunt that would take us to church. So it's just been embedded in me all my life.
So basically, at the age of 3, you had that vision that, okay, this is what I want to do as I grow older.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now, when you came of age, were you in the choir? You was in the choir
Yeah,
at the
I
younger
was in
age?
a children's
Children
choir,
choir. Okay.
and in that choir, I was the director, I was the lead singer. And at the time when we would go out for engagements, I would introduce the choir. So I was like the front person. And when I was I guess about 8 or 9, they would say, "Oh, she's a little preacher." So it was something that was embedded in me. I mean, and I loved it. I loved singing. I love gospel music, and it just progressed from there.
Oh, so you had that singing already embedded into your soul.
Yes, and I was never a shy person. So
Okay. So now, did your parents encourage you to pursue your dream?
yes, well, I mean that for my mom, I was raised by a single parent. My mom,
Hmm.
since we enjoyed going to church, and I tell everyone as a child, it was an activity
Mm.
where some young people they may go out to parties and other type of events, but for me, church. That was my activity, and that's where my core group, my friends were. We were looking at where's the next musical to go to or the next concert
Hmm.
or rehearsing for a concert. So that was my life. And I loved it. I loved it.
Okay. So now, when you became of age, and you went through school, education was your primary career, correct?
Yes, yes. And I've always had a passion for helping and teaching others. And that has been my career in higher education, almost 40 years. And as you said, you and I, we worked together at city colleges, but before that, I worked 18 years at Robert Morris University.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I was with the Chicago public school system, and I retired in 2021 from Capella University, which is headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Now, what was your position at Capella?
Capella, I was the dean for the School of Undergraduate Studies. I went there to help develop that school, and then I transitioned to the dean for the School of Education,
Mm-hmm.
which encompasses all of the doctoral programs in education.
Because I took a couple of classes at Capella when you were there.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, Feranda, let's back a little bit. Now, you are a licensed minister in 2011, and you were ordained as an elder in 2016. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and when you said my degrees, I even went back and got another master's degree in theology from Moody Bible Institute. And when I lived in Minneapolis, that's where I was licensed as a minister.
Okay.
And I always thought my ministry was singing, supporting others, the ministry of music. And then God just was telling me and pressing me that, I've got another level for you to preach the word of God. And so I was licensed there, and then moving back to Chicago, I was ordained an elder in the church where I attend now, Sweet Holy Spirit, by my pastor, Bishop Larry Donnell Trotter.
Wow. So you've been through a lot of things in church. If I read your bio correctly, you were very heavily involved in church.
Exact. And still to this day, even at my church, I'm over Christian education, which includes I call our Sunday school Sunday in the Word. We also have under my area our scholarship program, Sunday in the Word, and our online ministry. I'm the pastor for our online ministry. So those skill sets that I use in my profession, specifically with Capella University, able to transition and support the ministry of my church. And I just love what I do, and God is just blessed. So, and in each of those entities, we've got amazing lead servants that, support our Sunday in the Word, which is Sunday school, our new members ministry as well, where we have classes for new members and the orientation into the church. I have a lead servant for that area. For our scholarship program, I have a lead servant. And with the online ministry, I have an assistant that works with me. That's our newest ministry of the church.
So what's the congregation size?
Well, for our church, we have two services, a 7:30 and a 10 o'clock. I would say now a little over 5,000, but then since COVID, everybody doesn't attend in the sanctuary. Mm-hmm. We have what we call our Spirit Nation, where people from all over the world attend. So encompassing online plus in the sanctuary. And unfortunately, from COVID, some people have decided just to attend online.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you involved in a lot, plus you involved with the Chicago Mass, plus you got your own time, your own free time. How do you juggle all this?
Well, remember I said for Christian education, God has blessed me with amazing lead servants that are responsible for those areas. And we meet quarterly, and for me, it's also another opportunity for leadership development. And I have just been blessed with an amazing team. And even with Chicago Mass Choir, I'm on 30 years as the president and CEO, and I'm also responsible for the booking. I have an amazing team there. Wow. I've got my vice president of finance. I have my producer, music director. I have my administrative assistant. I have the secretary. I have the treasurer, the financial secretary. And then we have various committee chairs. So, you can't do it all. You have to empower others. But at the end of the day, I'm standing at the helm to make sure that the vision moves forward.
That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. So when was Chicago Mass established?
Well, we were organized in 1988, and people don't realize that we're really a part of a workshop, the ECC Music Workshop, which was started in 1988 under the Continuing Education Division as a week-long music workshop.
Okay.
And what we did, we had different classes at Kennedy King College, the one on 69th Street, the old Kennedy King location. And we would have workshops, choral directing, keyboard, sight reading, and each evening we would go to the band room and learn music. We would bring in different directors, songwriters to teach songs. And at the end of the week, in the Catherine Dunham Theater, we would have an award ceremony. Then that Saturday, we would have a musical and sing all the music that we learned throughout the week. And then the second year, an individual from a recording company, a producer was there, and was like, you guys need to record this. We only came together once a year. And for the first 4 projects, it was actually at the end of the workshop that we recorded. So we learned all the material in basically 4 days and recorded that Saturday evening. And eventually it just continued to evolve, and people were requesting us for engagements. And so that's where we went forward, with Chicago Mass Choir. But we're still committed to the workshops, even though we're not connected to a community college or a university. We sponsor 2 or 3 workshops throughout the year for free. Some we do online and some are face-to-face.
Okay. So now you also mentioned that it was established in 1988. So was it a group of people who established or came together and said, well, let's formulate this group?
It was the vision of our founder, the late James Chambers. Actually, he and I worked together in another choir that he organized, the Ecclesiastes Community Choir, but those were 2 separate entities. He attended the Gospel Music Workshop of America, came back excited and said, we could do this in Chicago. So it was really modeled after the Gospel Music Workshop of America, bringing, because, Chicago is the capital of gospel music.
Right, exactly.
So bringing people from various areas of the city and surrounding areas together for an annual workshop in the summer. Now, first we're going to do it in November, but due to the enrollment was high during that time, the dean at the time, Dr. Cecilia Bowie, and Dr. Randall Johnson suggested that we do it,
I remember
in the summer. They were very instrumental in providing an opportunity for us to be a part of Kennedy King College, as well as their continuing education division.
Oh, wow. I remember when Dr. Johnson, he did this play at the college, and I was really amazed because he formulated the stage and Jesus just rose. And after that, it just went dark. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that one. So now,
Dr. Randall Johnson and Dr. Cecilia Bowie are still both of my mentors. Of course, Dr. Johnson is deceased, but when I was going through my doctoral program, they were very supportive and my lifelong mentors.
Okay, so now, from your, is there a criteria that in order to be a part of the group, you have to do what? Do you have to sing? Can I sing? If you can't sing, what happens?
Yeah, and it's a process. First, you have to complete an application. Then we have a meet and greet via Zoom. So you have to attend that. Then you have to come in for an audition, in front of a core group of individuals. And then the team decides, or they give the recommendation to me whether or not to move the person forward or not.
So now how many individuals are in the group?
Currently, we have 96.
96 individuals in the Chicago Mass. Now, when you travel, do you carry all the 96 or just part of the 96? No,
just part, because when we travel, say out of town, we basically travel by chartered bus. And we use a 56 passenger bus. So with the choir members and the musicians and the staff, we could not accommodate the entire choir. But
Okay.
there have been times when we've taken the entire choir. For example, we recorded in Atlanta and we took the entire choir,
Mm.
and that included 2 chartered buses, plus people flew to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when we recorded in Louisville, we took 2 chartered buses and additional people flew or drove to Louisville, Kentucky. But normally it's 1 chartered bus.
Okay. So now you've been to some very interesting places, domestic and international. Just to name a few in the internationals: Greece, Spain, Italy, Switzerland.
Yes,
Wow, those are some very interesting places. So could you
yes.
explain about the domestic, then going to the international?
Well, domestic, people are very familiar with us. We're in concert, and usually we're the featured artists. And internationally, we just completed our 15th tour abroad in December 2023. And we
Mm.
went to Spain, 20 different cities for 19 different concerts. We had a tour bus. We toured in all of the 6 islands of Spain. So it was really a strenuous tour, and that was about 3.5 weeks. So it was
Mm.
like a different city every night almost. I think maybe 2 or 3 times we stayed in one hotel more than one night, but that's touring.
Okay, so
And we hadn't toured since 2019 because 2019 then COVID came. So that
so
kind of shut it down until 2023.
so now when you tour internationally, is it like a week stay, a 14-day stay, or how
Oh,
long?
3.5 weeks,
Three and a half
almost.
weeks just to
Oh,
stay in?
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I, we're doing 20 different concerts over 19 different locations.
Three
And
weeks.
six, yeah, and 6 of them we have to fly to the various islands. So that's a lot of work and a lot of travel.
Oh, I hope that has some good sponsorships.
Oh yeah, to God be the glory. We don't have to pay.
Right,
The
right.
singers actually are compensated. Everything is paid. Hotel, they receive a stipend. God has been
Good.
good.
That's right. So now, how many CDs do you guys have, and how many songs on each CD?
Oh, I don't know. Well, we have 18 projects, and there are like 10 to 12 songs per project.
Okay.
So we have a lot of material, and we just released a new project this past March, and our single "He's a Wonder" is doing phenomenal across the Billboard charts, and they're playing it everywhere. And God is just blessed. And I think the other dynamic is that we have a video attached to each song so people
Mm-hmm.
can go to YouTube
Right,
and not only
right.
listen to the music, but they can see the song in action as well.
Okay. Feranda, can you stay with me for, let me take a little small break, and we're going to come back and finish it up, and we'll
Okay.
be right back with Dr. Feranda Williams. This is one of my songs I like back in the day. Take a listen.
Okay.
And we're back with Dr. Feranda Williams. Doc, almost surely Percy is still there because he's the director of the
Uh-huh.
music. Make sure you tell him I say hello. If he's watching, hey Percy, how are you? Who actually composed the music and songs? Is that done by Percy or is it done by other people?
Well, a majority of the music has been written by Percy, but we have other songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the current song, He's a Wonder, a young songwriter, Jamel Green, wrote that song. So it's not, and his brother, Gerald Gray, and just different songwriters.
Okay. Now, tell me about this song. I'm gonna play it for you right quick, cause explain this one for me.
Thinking of the goodness of Jesus and how he saved me. Hallelujah. Thinking of the goodness of Jesus and how he healed me. Hallelujah. Thinking of the goodness of Jesus and how he changed my ways.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, a flashback when we think how God has been good to us, where he's brought us from. And,
Uh-huh.
they use the phrase from a mighty long way. It's good to have a flashback because we'll put things in perspective.
Right.
And that song was written by one of my brothers, Brother Tony Titwell, who has written several songs for Chicago Mass Choir. And, so many times he's brought me out of things. So many times he's healed me. So many times he's made a way. Just have a flashback of the goodness of the Lord. So
wow.
I like this song.
Yes,
Yeah.
I pour those too. I just want to hear because the first one I always love God is my everything. But I think this is on your new CD, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Along with He's a Wonder.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So now Chicago Mass has received numerous nominations of award. Can you give us a few and some of the highlights of those nominations?
Well, the 2 Grammy Awards, we had the privilege for myself and a couple of members to go to the Grammys, and that was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
One experience, I was in the same elevator with Ike Turner. Didn't realize until he was getting ready to get off. We were at the parking garage. Just to experience the whole dynamic, with the gospel, they put it on the pre-show, but we were at the pre-show and then the main show and then the after parties. Oh my God, the food, the giveaways.
Yes.
It was just phenomenal.
Right.
So that experience was just lifelong memories. And the Dove Awards, we were nominated twice. That was a great experience. And then, we've been nominated finalists for many years for the Stella Awards, but in 2017, we won the Stella Award for Traditional Choir of the Year. So we're just honored. And then there are different keys to various cities, and we've been acknowledged here, the Chicago Music Association. God has been good, and it's all to God be the glory.
Amen. Now, you also received numerous awards of Who's Who, and
yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, outstanding. When I was at Malcolm X College, Congressman Danny Davis Award for Outstanding Leadership. I was very honored and pleased. And I received an award from City Colleges, Outstanding Woman of the Year. Just, to God be the glory,
Okay, that's great. So, Feranda, I really want, I can go on and on talking with you, but I know you're busy, but I'm just so honored that you took the time out of your busy schedule just to share a little highlight of the Chicago Mass along with yourself of the many achievements and outstanding awards that Chicago Mass, because I remember back in the days when I used to come to the concerts, I had that VIP go straight to the front row.
Well, you know what? Now, like I tell people, everybody is a VIP. And at our concerts, we have open seating. And that's why now we start the concert at 6 o'clock. We used to start at 7. And people are lined up around the corner at 4 o'clock because we have the open seating. And I want to thank you for your support when you were in Chicago. You always support us. And even with our programs, I'll never forget. Now, and I had to make sure I had those 2 VIP seats there. And I just appreciate you. And I just wish you the best with what you're doing and your podcast. And your relocation, and he's been faithful to us both.
Yes, he has. I still have your award that you had presented to me in 2009. It
Wow.
said, in appreciation to William Stewart for your, I can't read it from this far, from the Chicago Mass Choir that you had given me.
Oh,
I
great,
still have
great,
it. It's a small plaque.
great.
I appreciate that. My last question, two questions for you right quick.
Mm-hmm.
You were a booking agent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, break that down for us.
Well, I do all the booking for the choir, and I've booked a couple of other groups, but basically Chicago Mass Choir. And that's what I do. That's what
Okay.
I do. And I've been doing that for almost 30 years. So
Okay.
God is blessed. I started trying to get a booking management company, but I didn't see where we would be the priority. And I like, oh, I could do this myself, so,
Okay.
and it's really worked. It's worked well. So God has just blessed us.
So
And he continues to open doors even for a choir.
I was just about to say now, is there any plans for 2025 from the Chicago Mass?
Is there what?
Any plans?
Oh, for 2025, we have our spring concert. Maybe you can come to Chicago Saturday, May 3rd. The first Saturday in May will be our annual. This year will be the 24th. We've been having this annual spring concert. It will be 24 years this coming May 3rd, 2025. The end of 2025, we will be back on tour in Europe. I don't know if we're going to be in Spain or Italy, but we will be traveling again. And we also have a couple of concerts that are booked. This past September, we were in Memphis for amazing, backed by popular demand concert, Meeting of the Masses, Chicago Mass, Mississippi Mass, and Tennessee Mass. And we're planning to return the last Friday in September of 2025 to Memphis, Tennessee for the third repeat of the Meeting of the Masses.
Oh, that should be a concert there.
Yes.
I had Walt Whitman on last week, and I'm going to pose the same question to you. Back in the days, you used to always have these different concerts, the musical here, concert there, but it hasn't been the same since. What's your input on that?
Well, times change, seasons change, we still have concerts, but even in Chicago, we don't have late night musicals like we do,
Okay.
And I don't want to say that it's violence. Well, it's violence everywhere, but people, they're a little bit more cautious. And even with the start time of programs, I used to start my concert at 7. Now I'm starting at 6 o'clock. It's just a different time. It's just a different time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, Dr. Feranda Williamson, thank you. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Love and appreciate you, William.
And I love you too. And I would definitely be there with my handout for the front row seats again.
Okay.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Dr. Feranda Williamson. Like I said before, I've known her for many of years, and we worked together, and I did a lot of different things for her and the group. So that was a good interview there. Okay, so now let's talk about the last week trivia question. The last week trivia question was, who was the first Black self-made female millionaire with her beauty and health care industry? And the correct answer is Madam C. Walker. And we do have a winner. The winner is Reverend Tanji Clark from Atlanta, Georgia. I want to thank you, Rev, for choosing the right answer, because she called twice. She was the first person who called the 888, and then she called my personal number just to make sure she won. Congratulations, Dr. Reverend Clark. This week, let's go with this week see what's going on for this week trivia.
Give the correct answer and you can be a winner of this Stewart Spotlight t-shirt, sponsored by William Stewart Jr.
It's time for Stewart Trivia. This is a Christian question for those Bible scholars out there. What is the names of the two daughter-in-laws of Naomi? Is it A, B, C, or D? The first person with the correct answer who called 888-552-1944 will be the winner of the Stewart Spotlight t-shirt. Good luck. Yep, that's right. If you are the first caller of the 888-552-1944, you will be the winner of the Stewart Spotlight t-shirt. I believe I lost Lee Jones, who used to give us a closing, but I can't get him back online right now. So, with that being said, I'm just going to close it out. I hope everyone enjoyed the interview with Dr. Feranda Williamson of the Chicago Mass Choir. Please tune in next week. We're going to have another special guest next week. And I want to thank you for your support. Always remember to continue to like, subscribe, and even leave a comment. Turn on that notification bell so therefore you can always be notified when we are live. Always remember, it's not about me. It's all about you. When you could, you wouldn't. Now you want to, but you can't. Until next week, everybody be safe, have a safe weekend, and good night.